last time Spooky was on, by the way, it's been like 10 years or so, right? So as a listener, what do you remember of him?
It sounds like he's dead.
Yeah. The notorious Spooky. Spooky to me was one of these characters. He fell into the category of show character. Like there were regular guests that were interviewed, and then there were human beings where I was like, what the fuck is this? And how is it real? And like this is me as a 14-year-old, like hearing like Spooky broke into the house last night. I'm like, is he an animal or a man? Like it's not quite clear what or who this is. But he does some kind of logging now where like he climbs a tree and cuts off the branches on top. Dangerous stuff, but that is what he always did. Like when me and Chemda were together in our house, when he surprise visited us, he climbed the back column and knocked on our door that didn't go anywhere. Like that's not fucking crazy.
Right. Drenched in rain because it happened to be raining.
Yeah.
Well, he's like, what, am I a witch? I'm not going to melt.
He enjoys being creepy very much.
Yeah, it was like I guess you guys, I'm a 14-year-old. I live in Canada. You two in my headphones are already people who seem insane. And then you have this insane cast of characters. Like Patrice was kind of that to me. Like she's like worked as a hooker booker. And I'm like, what? I'm like clutching my pearls, but I also am like fascinated by that. So Spooky fell into that category of like, how are you real?
Definitely.
And then I was curious, like it seemed like he was kind of like having relationships with different people. It was very soap opera-y, everything that would happen with Spooky. There was always some new chapter, like Spooky put a hammer through the wall by accident and now he's taping shit up. I'm like, what is he? Who is he? And also, he's amazing.
But I said it looks like Spooky's going to be in New York. We're going to try to talk to him, of course. You were so excited, right?
Yes, it was like a celebrity. It was a celebrity moment for me. It was the same feeling that I had when I first was going to meet you guys. This like, oh my God, there's this. Because it's like you're so impressionable when you're that young.
Right.
Then there's this character that it lives in your mind and is just like living his crazy life, drawing and running around in the streets. It's so like romantic, insane seeming. And then they're just a person. And it's very like weird to close that gap. I obviously that gap is very much closed with you guys now, but Spooky's one of the characters that hasn't been around for a while. It's like a playing card. He's like a Pokemon. It's like, oh my God, yes.
Yeah, I mentioned how I was on vacation in Australia, and that's where he happened to be. And by the way, he was dating, it seemed like one scientist after another. And he's not somebody that really shares his thoughts or feelings. And I wonder if like these smart people are like, I like the strong silent type. You know, because it really taught me to shut up more.
Yeah.
You know? You know, he climbs trees.
Yeah. Maybe Spooky's like a part alien creature. The only guest that would be more exciting for me to meet would maybe be, or just at one point, Bruno. Do you remember the little kid, Bruno?
Yeah.
I would love to see who that kid is. You know, Spooky seemed like more of a normal person and I could have a conversation with him. Bruno's probably out like huffing glue somewhere. But I would like to see what I'd just like to see him from like across the street.
Is it Elmer's? You know, what is
it?
So I saw Spooky in Australia, and it's been years since I saw him before that. And, you know, and it seemed like we left at the time on weird terms. He was upset at Chemda's brother for some reason and wrote about not working on an app with him and wrote it on the forums. And I remember thinking, that'd be like if Adam Brown wrote something on the forums. You know, you can do whatever you want, but I know you. What just happened? I know once Chemda was with Hennessy, and was it a couple yelled at you for kissing in a pool?
Yeah, we got it was the security guard was like, oh, you can't kiss in this pool, and we pointed at a heterosexual couple, and we're like, but this is obviously what happens in here. And she's like, well, what do we tell the kids? And I go, mind your fucking business, or whatever I said. And yeah, and we were in a same-sex relationship, and he was passing as female, and then Spooky wrote, I wouldn't know what to tell my kids either. And I told him, well, until you figure it out, go fuck yourself.
Right.
I mean, that's...
Sorry, I don't know what to say. You're unborn children. You don't even have a kid, you fuck.
I mean,
fuck you. Fuck your kids.
That's very indicative of your relationship. You guys were a wolf pack for a little while. It was like
Yeah, but
you
also
three.
there was something about Spooky, like there was always like we'll see if he changes his mind in a couple years, because we met him. He just got out from under the rock that he lived in Pensacola, Florida. I was the first Jew he ever met. He was like having a lot of firsts. So I'm like, you need to have a couple more firsts without me. Let's reconvene. Let's see what happens.
He's like a feral dog.
Yeah, and so I see him in Australia, and I even said to Chemda, like, I don't know if I said before or after, but I'm like, is it weird if I see Spooky? And, you know, she's laughing, like, of course not. And we're hanging, and it's like no time passed. Everything's fine. I'm like, hey, should I bring up, because I'm thinking of it, should I bring up this forms thing or whatever? And he's like, I'm an idiot. And it's like, okay, the end. You know what I mean? It was so easy.
Sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, Spooky.
Hey, everybody.
How you doing, buddy?
It's been a minute.
Yeah.
Hello.
You're looking good.
Well, thank you very much. I'm a little bit older, a little bit wiser, I hope. Still making a lot of the same mistakes, but having a good
I
time.
love how Spooky just sums up his life for you, but like very not specific. I'm the same person that you saw. Obviously, I've aged a bit. What else? He just runs down.
Spooky voice. I have this weird spooky
it.
voice that was in my fucking ears forever. Now it's just right there.
The nasally man is back.
You want to touch him?
Yeah. He's real.
What do you do for a living? So you really, it's dangerous shit, right? Like you've had coworkers die.
I mean, you know, I'm a nerd, so I can tell you statistics. It's 9 times more dangerous than being a cop in the U.S.
Wow.
So
You shoot
yeah,
black
yeah,
people?
yeah. It's just no, they shoot at me. No. It's I work in forestry, and so it's like cutting down big trees. We do a lot of like stuff around houses and things like that. So we've got to like rig things out. So we're like, you know, big huge logs. Like I'm controlling them with ropes and like getting them down, getting them to land exactly where I want, and then I'm, you know, picking them up and moving
I feel
them
like
out.
this is the only job that would satisfy Spooky.
It's a lot of fun.
I knew it.
It is.
He
It
goes-
is insanely satisfying.
He goes, I'm a lumberjack now. I go, weren't you always?
Right.
Yeah.
Come on.
They just found a job for you.
Right.
He was climbing the back of my house. Now they pay him.
He was freelancing before for nobody. Right. Yeah.
Hey guys, are we doing this? I guess this guy works here now.
That's right. I'm up here. Here's my resume.
You know what I thought while I was camping, and this is just a stoner thought, but I have thought this before. I felt really weird because I looked up and I'm like, look at all this greenery and these trees and this nature, and I'm sitting in it and it's beautiful. And then I light some wood on fire in front of it. And I'm just like, I am so sorry. It's getting cold. The sun is coming down. I'm lighting your babies on fire. Thank you very much.
No, they're dead babies.
I know, but
And
it's
they've
like
got to be like long dead for them to burn. You're not gonna.
I told them that, but they felt a little odd.
Do
Yeah.
you no joke when you're climbing a tree, big thick oak? Do you
Wow,
talk?
your face got extremely sexual.
I can picture it. Do you talk to it because you have to respect the wood?
You know, I am. Do I talk to it? You know what? Actually, sometimes every now and again, I'm like, "Sorry, buddy, it's your time."
Right.
You know, I'm
you like the
definitely softy. I'm the guy that's like picking out. So Australia's got all these like super dangerous animals. Like I'm the softy that's like, you know, pulling the great big, you know, fist-sized huntsman spiders out of the chipper and like setting them free. You know, I mean, I go super hard, so everybody like gives me that. But like, I'm that guy that does it. You know. So yeah.
A soft
Yeah.
side.
I only
softy.
understood half that, and it's so crazy, right?
Pulling giant spiders. It's totally
is funny.
fucking normal.
It's funny to watch Keith and Spooky relate or talk because they speak on a surface level, and then one of them starts diving deeper, and the other one gets uncomfortable, but kind of gets it, half gets it. They both decide it's good enough, and they move on.
Right.
Man love.
Yes, basically.
How long, Jody, the frog scientist? By
Yes.
the way, and how like she's a big deal in the frog world, right? No joke.
She's one of the bigger deals, yeah, and she's still got a lot of upward momentum. So sure, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, don't tell her that frog story, right? Does she know about
Yeah,
that?
yeah, that frog story is isn't your version of it's a little different than the reality.
What do you think happened?
I know what happened.
Go ahead.
I was there, and you were like, you knew I was into this frog girl, and you were like, look at this, and then like, bam, you just like made an
that
animal
checks out.
sacrifice.
That checks out. I wasn't even there, and I know
He
that's
smashed
true.
it.
Yeah.
It was very quick for the frog, to be fair.
Look, I know I don't want to break up your marriage or your relationship, so we're gonna go with your story. But
Okay.
throw me a wink if I see.
There we go.
Welcome back.
He's still a bully, just in case you were wondering.
Yeah, this is still Keith.
Yeah.
KeithAndTheGirl.com.
Ooh, you just clicked our button. Why don't you click another one called subscribe? You know, consensually. I'm not trying to like seduce you into it or anything. You know what? Don't do it. I retract. Okay, bye.